This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Kevin Tiller is back. He's back. Now he's back. Ena kisi Japan. OSP Nehwachini exposed. Ofori Atta exposed. Boadu exposed. Erate. Adia wa yomo. Osi NPP gu. NPP ne gu ne se Alan akwakwoti UP. United Party. UP no so ye NPP ashase. Enti it means it's NPP egu. Ono obi say yenko to aba no 2028 na we go NPP kwata. Kevin Tiller no ka. O say yenko to aba no go NPP kwata. Wow. Ensem sisi o ensem DP sisi pa. Na documenter Kevin Tiller yegu hono yembesho.
The OSP Ofori, I can tell you Ghanaians on authority, the fight against corruption yepe obia or hinder Ghana or distracting a investigation obia oma criminals omo protection in disguise is this guy called Ofori. And after this episode, you will understand, after this expose, you understand why we don't have to have the special prosecutor in office. Why the president needs to take decision and sack the special prosecutor. Last week, I heard he went to Menchia to go tell Otumfuo, say Otumfuo should step in for him so that they wouldn't sack him. Last week or so, Ofori was in Kumasi, and I would like to tell Otumfuo, say to whether he was there or not, Nana, it is better. It is better, with all due respect, your interference in Ghana politics. It is better, this point, step away. I respect you. And it says, papa or woman. Your interference in Ghana politics. The hatred that you are calling for yourself is all because of your interference in Ghana politics. Say, obi beka say tiawo. Say nipa bi ebegu hu fin. So obi betena baby aka bibie tiawa na eye your interference in politics. Let the politicians do what they are doing. Your job as a traditional ruler is to look out for your people. Stop the interference. It is hurting Ghana's development. It is hurting the fight against corruption. Stop the interference. The same way na Boadu betina TV so obi a wabo Ghana krono it me boldly ekache Ghana for say your palace and the OSP office no pressure to release a criminal like Boadu. It's an indictment. And with all due respect, Nana, it's about time. And we are all in Ghana. We have what we call positive influence. It is beginning to look like you are no more being positively impactful when it comes to our politics. Your interference, the interference from your palace is too much. I respect you, and it always hurts me when I see young people who know nothing about Ghana politics use words they cannot even use at anything at you, all because of your interference. Stay away. Let these people be dealt with. The palace, no, that thing needs to stop. It needs to stop. Egu ahimfie no hu fin. Egu asante akonwa no hu fin. Obia sorry one crying. Obia bokro no a osmame ko menhia na menhia nka bi mame. It should not be so. We do respect you. We recognize you as somebody who is revered amongst your people and even around the world. This needs to stop, Nana, with all due respect to you. Because We want to fight corruption. We want to build this nation. With all due respect. Manisi Suminaso. Akwara ewu penyini wu ahaban dada te ahaban mono te. Na sebi omo mpenifo de mo ye nyina ne se mo beba oman ho ehu ban na ye mu nchirima te se ye no ya besom aye ne yie. Let the process work. Moma yenma imra enye juma. And this goes out to all these leaders. Ahemfo amwo Ghana. It is looking like our biggest problem is ahemfo amwo Ghana, including me papa so your hene. And that is where we are struggling to get this country out of problems. Because when it even comes to the fight against Galamsey, majority of you, when mama the fight against Galamsey, and I'm being respectful in this my submission because I think it's about time we started having this serious conversation about the interference of some of our chiefs, especially Benshia, in our politics. It is getting too much. And Amanfobi Amagini say they will hide behind Benshia, they will use Otumfuo's face. And it has been going on and on and on. And we are yet to hear from Benshia that, you know this, Benshia send him. But I don't much better TV so catch we are seeing us obo chrono and the chino and a Benshia ema system the pressure. Ever seen there, Benshia to me release an official statement to say no. It is filthy and disgusting. Let us respect each other. Let us respect the rule of law. Let us at least give the system room to breathe for the system to work. The interference from Benshia in our politics is too much. But the right things have to be said. And yet to me, yes, I did not. And because you see, you're Ghana. You see, you buye, you boy a chrono, and so to me, if you say the moment you start to make a move, now him free be sorry, not or he be sorry, not penny be sorry. We cannot prosecute people. And I am saying Benshia because personally, I feel, say, from a year history, Benshia has been too in politics. Your fingers have been in politics too much. Now let's go to this matter. OSP can Ofori Atta also about Ghana. And remember, in 2024, Ghana budget $13.7 million. And a year special prosecutor, Kisie Jabin. Almost $14 million. What about Ghana citizens? 147 million Ghana citizens. And ye tam edema a year OSP say, Pop di Juma, na omo di drum, area no, sankofo no, for di Juma na yen chibias no munko de fiase. Almost $14 million. And ye tam edema Kisie Jabin. You ask yourself, how many people work at the OSP office? How many people have been prosecuted? A day na Ekosu Ghana. Some questions needs to be answered. It is looking like politics as usual, complaints as usual, rhetoric as usual. We come on TV, come on radio, we talk, and the next day we walk. No, things have to change. And things have to change because we cannot make it politics as usual. Yet to me all the time. Something needs to happen. Some changes have to happen to make sure say nim. Now, maybe nipa or stop it Ofori Atta from coming to Ghana, and the person doing that is the special prosecutor, and it's not just Ofori Atta. You see, in Ghana today, say Omani detective say obi di sika. Na say yen nyina yehu say sand pay with this sika or say twena so pe. Trom na special prosecutor drew her. And what does he do? He will go and arrest, and you line up charges, and then at the end of the day, he will tell you that the person should go home. He's investigating. There are hundreds of cases like that ever seen there. The special prosecutor, they say, why no ninja? Or shall obi a dia bicycle sika won in semupe or semacho come for interrogation. Oba or semajiwa no asem. Or say, okay, macho no asem, go. I will investigate it. And it has gone on and on and on. $13 to $14 million. Yenya any results from it. Now, Ken Ofori Atta yetiha and I United say Yednakoto Interpol red list so or red alert or whatever list so. And I United say yeah. Because when him say Ken Ofori Atta is an integral person when it comes to investigating the Akufo-Addo administration. So one of the boats and I said not a what Akufo-Addo abemu. So we Ken Ofori Atta the whole Akufo-Addo government will come down. And people like the special prosecutor, he knows about that. So what Ken Ofori Atta dinijina dekema, obia oria sika wo Akufo-Addo abemu nyina obia hombeda ho, including Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo himself. The special prosecutor knows that. Now, why is it say Kisie Jabin entumi fa Ken Ofori Atta emafie? Why? What is so special about Ken Ofori Atta? Kisie Jabin say ordinama Interpol entumi fa number 3. Now, let's go back and let me show you how dangerous this special prosecutor is. This is the part 1 of the special prosecutor scandal. Now, maybe exposing the end there. Let's have the second one about. This man has to honorably resign from that office. This special prosecutor has 2 offices. Or the special prosecutor's office and what the annex are a daya papa na ye freno seconds. Sa papa no esiamana or the special prosecutor duties. This special prosecutor or not the car will be we no sachi di pano. This man. It wasn't team. It wasn't part of today, but 1 second. Special prosecutor. Or to be the car bobi. Or the car boni panewieno. Me betreno, the way. And son of my banasam cross on there. He's crazy. Or to be the honor convoy bobi, a car. Oh yeah. Now wasami achidi pano. Adea, adentina. Or no the car na boni pano. Was saying ni panica, this guy. Special prosecutor, Paul Adomochi no. It was to protect Paul Adomochi from going to jail. This is the car. Or the car, the convoy, ni bulletproof car, or the boka we mu no esachi ni pano.
How me I go fit hit car way this place where we go do so. So that's the front of the car. I want to know where me I hit.
Or the car ni boak we car ni side no, and outside the koko or chini 2 more on 1 fee. You see Jabin. Kiseja being or the ball abrante we come or we no such no. How can you use your side of the car, car side, it will be car anymore? But that is what he does. Power ne kutana, that is what he uses it for. Or Pamaka a video with me bois. Or Pambra Bron say, I saw the video or the make a court, it's a lie. Today. This man locked the gentleman up in his own home. He locked him up. Now, Yanko Ken Ofori Atta issue so. Now, I'm sure how dangerous this OSP is and why we should get rid of him. And I'm doing this piece for the President of the Republic. I want the President to understand, with all due respect, that this man, if he's not kicked out of that office, your government will struggle. I am telling you. So when you special prosecutor we and now when closes our office down, your government will struggle. Because this special prosecutor will not allow your government to do what Ghanaians want. Ghana for here, Ken Ofori Atta, the OSP is the one blocking Ken Ofori Atta from coming to Ghana. Now I'm sure idea. On the 2nd of June 2025, this happened. The OSP wrote a letter to the Jubilee House. And he wrote a letter to the Chief of Staff. Chief of Staff Julius Debra. Follow this conversation very well. This is 2nd June 2025. Me make sure I did. The Chief of Staff, Office of the President, Jubilee House, Accra. Attention, Honorable Julius Debra. Request for the institution of Extradition Processes, Kenneth Nanaya Ofori Atta. The Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, requests for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Kenneth Ofori Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic of Ghana between 2017 to 2024. This request is founded on the consideration that Mr. Ofori Atta, who departed the jurisdiction early January 2025, has no intention of voluntarily returning to the jurisdiction, and for which reason the OSP has declared him a wanted person and a suspected corruption and corruption-related offenses regarding the following. Where a letter OSP Echoko Jubilee House or say yeman kwan na onfa e kwan so na onkofa Ken Ofori Atta embra Ghana. Now, 1. Contractual agreement between Strategic Mobilization Ghana Limited and the Ghana Revenue Authority for the stated objective of the enhancement of revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector, upstream petroleum production, and minerals and metals resources value chain. Or say, Nyoma Ojina so Akache Chief of Staff say, Omunjina so making sure say, Oma fam kwai so edi Ofori Atta ban ebini Ofori Atta eba oil eye dream okahon eba gold dream okahon eba eye dien Ghana yesika sem eye Ghana Revenue Authority sika ejeje eto Ken Ofori Atta dream ose sa nyoma we nyina aka ho ose termination of a distribution loss reduction and associated network improvement project contract between the ECG and Beijing Xiao Cheng Technology BXC. And 3, procurement of contractor and materials and activities and payment in respect of National Cathedral project. It's see when in your man Ken Ofori Atta ya on trauma Julius Debra on the 2nd of June say omo man kwine na omo man every resource o here bia any every area assistance bia na ontumi extradite Ken Ofori Atta embra Ghana if you say Ken Ofori Atta edwane kwa America. So the special prosecutor wrote to the office of the president, specifically to the chief of staff. Now, remember, the chief of staff, he's not a prosecutor. He's not an investigator. So what did the chief of staff do? The chief of staff forwarded the letter to the attorney general. This letter was on the 2nd of June, 2025. It's the chief of staff, because chief of staff, on your prosecutor, chief of staff, or just CID boss, chief of staff, the only thing he can do is to give it to the legal brain. A buying lawyer opinion say, special prosecutor say, or per se, offer a crime be so called Ken Ofori Atta by Emra Kwanson de here into where we are buying lawyer opinion no, Jeletano, ne di hujuma. Into what the chief of staff did, Julius Debra, he forwarded this to the attorney general. Now, when the attorney general received the letter, the attorney general actually responded to the special prosecutor. Now, on the 13th of June 2025, so from the 2nd to the 13th, how many days? Anche and attorney general, the second letter now or responding to the special prosecutor. Say the course, dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, sit Heli Salasi Avenue, South Ridge, blah 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 blah. Dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, this is the response from the attorney general. Mebesa Ochina OSP Babon Trebeka said this letter, when you know you fake, na men chire the BB or Ghana, he needs to leave that office. $14 million. No. Now, in Tisa letter ko ka Julius Debra nsa e Jubilee House no, and the attorney general say, hey, memenya law. Law deal with the OSP to help bring Ken Ofori Atta back. And Attorney General said, yes, sir, we will do that. So the Attorney General too responded to the special prosecutor. And what did he say to the special prosecutor? I say, dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, requests for the institution of extradition processes, Mr. Kenneth Ofori Atta, that is the response. I say, I bring you compliments from the office of the Attorney General I say 1. This is in respect of your letter to the Honorable Chief of Staff dated June 2nd, 2025, and the Honorable Chief of Staff's letter to the Honorable Attorney General dated the 3rd of June, 2025. Now, secondly, kindly furnish us with a copy of the docket on the subject. The Attorney General said, Mr. Kisieja Ben Yensaka will letter now which Chief of Staff the 2nd of June. No? On the 3rd year, letter near the following day. Na sebi yensu saka na yepese yebusa wo se docket na eda Ofori Atta so no sa docket ne nke opese yeboa fa sa docket ne breye forward the docket no na yenhu investigations awaye nyoma ewom na yene the Attorney General's office no we can collaborate with you to find a way to bring Ken Ofori Atta back to Ghana. And the Attorney General was explicit in his statement. Kindly furnish us with a copy of the docket on the subject, and the subject is Ken Ofori Atta. In the Attorney General ni busa OSP, ya pesa odi sa docket no. Ne nyoma na waye ni nyina no fabre. We will be grateful if you could nominate up to 2 prosecutors from your office to join our team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition request. And Attorney General said, OSP, yeni beji say, odi docket na eba no. Odi 2 investigators so be free office aka docket no ho. Send ebe ya omo ne ebetena table ho. Na ye nyina ya hwem. Na ya hwe how we can execute this extradition process. This is on the 13th of June. Letter Nebeka Julia Debransa on the 2nd. On the 3rd, and a letter Nekoka Edian, Ekoka Attorney General Sa. On the 13th, and a ocho letter Edekoma Dian, Edekoma OSP. Into Attorney General Busa for docket. And also Busa said, for investigators, baby, you do crack home. No more kind home. Not yan share a same way, near how we can bring Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana. Now, we will be grateful if you could nominate 2 of your prosecutors to be part of Munyambekao. Accept the assurance of my highest consideration. Very truly yours. And this was the response from the Attorney General to the OSP. The Attorney General responded to OSP say, "Yate, obesogo Ken Ofori Atta ba, a fine idea. For docket ne bra, na docket no de ba no, for investigators me nuka ho no mbra, no money entrance, na fe yen strategize na ye how we can bring Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana." 13th of June 2025. Now, after that, a day is here. After that, something happened. After that, the special prosecutor wrote to the Attorney General. I want him to come out tomorrow, number press conference. Don't say, when you know me boy. The Attorney General cannot be trusted. And make sure I could tell you, he cannot be trusted today. Nti Ochokoma Julius Debra, Chief of Staff, and Julius forwarded letter to Koma Attorney General, and Attorney General responded, and all responded to Attorney General's response. Or say, Honorable Justice Sriam Sai, the Deputy Attorney General, and Ocho letter away on the 20th of June 2025. Into 1 week, Pepe and responded to this letter from the Attorney General. Or say, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, OSP, sends its complement to the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Justice. Osemi chechi amu nyina mo Attorney General Office. Yede akomapa ene odo ene echia mo ene wi yede anu asem bi ebremo. I refer to your letter dated 13th June 2025 in reference to my letter to the Chief of Staff dated 2nd June 2025 and the Chief of Staff reference to the Attorney General dated 3rd June 2025. In respect of the OSP's request for extradition processes to be instituted, in which extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Ken Ofori Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic of Ghana between 2017 and 2024. Let me take this again. I refer to your letter dated 13th of June 2025 in reference to my letter to the Chief of Staff dated the 2nd June 2025 and the Chief of Staff's reference to the Attorney General dated 3rd June 2025 in respect of the OSP's request for extradition processes to be instituted for the provisional apprehension in any jurisdiction in which he may be located or found, and extradition to the Republic of Ghana of Ken Nana Yaw Ofori Atta, who served as the minister responsible for finance of the Republic between 2017 and 2024. The OSP nominates the following officers to join the team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition requests. The OSP nominates the following officers. Nominates the following officers to join the team of prosecutors to examine and process the extradition requests. 1. Director Albert Akurugu, the Director, Asset Recovery and Management Division. 2. Kaiser Francis Amedome Wilson, Senior Prosecutor. Now, OSP responded to Attorney General. Attorney General busa the 2 questions. Ube to be a mayansaka docket no. And na ube to be the 2 investigators aka ho aba eni abetenase. Na yenhwe se ne be kwakwachi Ofori Atta. Attorney General responded OSP responded to Attorney General no. He only spoke on the prosecutors or investigators. The OSP did not mention the docket. Without the docket, the Attorney General cannot proceed or cannot start investigating Ken Ofori Atta's matter. But interestingly, when the OSP was responding to the Attorney General, he omitted the docket part and said, or send the prosecutors. No. Now, you are sending prosecutors to the Attorney General to do what? Without a docket. It is strategically, some investigation now say why ye. Nyoma e what docket na Ofori Atta ye. Nyoma e what say Attorney General no so ehu. Na ye gina so e dey make sure the process no aye effective e me de e ye Ken Ofori Atta aba no. Sa docket no OSP say on fan Attorney General. Na mum he has sent 2 of his men to come to the Attorney General to help with the extradition process. How do you start extradition process when you don't have the evidence? You, the special prosecutor, you have the docket. What is stopping you from giving the Attorney General the docket? But you see, strategically, time I responded to Attorney General, no, he did not give the Attorney General the docket of Ken Ofori Atta. And you ask yourself, why? So you ask yourself, why? How? The Attorney General sends his prosecutors and investigator, but he refuses to send the docket. The OSP cannot be trusted. I'm not talking about the Attorney General. The OSP. The OSP cannot be trusted. I made a mistake. I said Attorney General cannot be trusted. The OSP, the special prosecutor, cannot be trusted. So, Attorney General just put 2 requests in. Give me investigators and let them come with a docket and let us start the investigations and bring Ofori Atta. The OSP sends only investigators and prosecutor. He decides not to add the docket. In fact, he decided not to give the Attorney General Ken Ofori Atta's docket. So the question is, why? The question is, why? Why say the office of the special prosecutor, Kisie Jabin, will refuse to hand over Ken Ofori Atta's docket? I don't know, person be my Attorney General. No. Why? Now let me show you something. Why we cannot trust the special prosecutor. In fact, he's a dangerous guy. Now you see this document. Document way a letter. This is a letter. A free the Attorney General's office call OSP data so and hold on. Now my men the AC, and after that, the Attorney General's office actually wrote a letter back after OSP catch up say or the investigators the the Attorney General's office followed up and asked him about the docket. And this was on the 3rd of September 2025. Just the 3rd of September. And the date, the 16th of October. Ever since there, the special prosecutor has not responded to the Attorney General. Let's read what's in the letter. Now, the special prosecutor, the office of the special prosecutor, Haile Selassie, blah, 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 dear Mr. Kisie Jabin, and it was signed by the Deputy Attorney General. I want the OSP to come out tomorrow and say, dear Mekenina, send the Ofori Atta ma Ghana, near to me prosecute Ofori Atta a special prosecutor. He knows what he's doing. Or then a block a quino or hijack it. Special prosecutor onim dia oye oni Ofori Atta mwashisha. He knows what he's doing. Let an Indian man can show. Or say, I bring you compliments from the office of the Attorney General. This follows letter to this office dated June 20, 2025, and subsequent conversation on subject Kenneth Nanayao Ofori Atta. 2. For urgent law enforcement decision-making purposes, kindly furnish this office with the following. Attorney General Sachro letter koma OSP say. Ya pesa usa this adwuma we ya kan docket ne mbae. Ya say busa for other things. 1. A copy of the dockets in its current state on the subject. 2. An investigative report, even if interim, on the suspect. 3. Any other information which you believe will be necessary for the purpose. And accept our assurances of my highest consideration. Very true, yours. Now, me mawat me betre bibi mu achro. Attorney General Sacho letter come OSP no. Meaning OSP for docket ne maaye. Docket ni here and sana extradition process need to makoso ye. And Attorney General actual letter come no on the 9th of on the 3rd of September say ye pese Attorney OSP Omaye a copy of the docket in its current state. Or say docket no baby we drubiano o de famaye. We just want the docket. Don't tell us to say you are waiting to add some things and some. We just want it in its current form. It's okay for us. We can work with it. Don't tell us to say there are some things you are still investigating, because when it gets to us, we can still continue investigating. And anything our car say for our prosecutors and investigators, Brian Ho, na any omunye jumani boom. Inti Attorney General was specific. Give us the docket in its current state, because you see, the OSP has always been hiding behind it is still under investigations. And if he tells you something is still under investigation, it can take 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. He will never finish investigating, because that is how he operates. And it's an Attorney General can say it does not matter where the docket, the state it is in. Whatever you have gathered and whatever is in the docket, it is okay. Just bring it. This was on the 9th, on the 3rd of September. And the OSP and the Attorney General Suka say, an investigative report, even if interim, or see, some my investigative report, no, even so we a crowd, what the baby would rubiano, famaye. We can work on it. And Attorney General did not say, give it to me to work on it alone. Add your investigators and your prosecutors to it so that we can work on it with them together. And remember, the Attorney General is even calling for transparency, for his people to all sit with them to do the investigation into one docket, in its current state, whether whatever baby would be a famaye. And an investigative report, so reporter also why so far also we investigations, baby would do is okay. We just want to see what investigations baby would do, give it to us. And 3, any other information which you believe will be necessary for the purpose. See, document be account be a who say ebe hia say ebe boye amaya to adwuma de we so no fa ka ho ebe sinne. And I'm saying this on authority. The special prosecutor Kisie Jabin has not responded to the Attorney General. So who is blocking the extradition of Ken Ofori Atta to Ghana? It is Kisie Jabin, the special prosecutor. Me say ebe sinne The special prosecutor has not responded to the Attorney General. From September, the Attorney General asked for the docket in its current form, the investigation report in its current state, and any other information ever seen there. Kisie Jabin has not responded to the Attorney General. Ask yourself why. Because Kisie Jabin does not want to hand over the investigative report to the Attorney General. Why? Because he's protecting Ken Ofori Atta. In the Ken Ofori Atta, let me tell you, last week or so, Ken Ofori Atta eba any boys we know mudin komo or catch ne nan for say ne papa. So beso tukwan or the private jet ne tukwan. And they don't know Ken Ofori Atta, he does not carry a passport. Ken Ofori Atta the womb. That is Ken Ofori Atta's son. That is what he was telling his friends. Or say the papa can travel anywhere and he travels on private jets. He goes to Europe, he goes to the Bahamas. Ne papa travels on private jet with a different name. Ken Ofori Atta's son, he was bragging to a lady, a girl. So you see where we are. Inti Kisie Jabin onim say Ken Ofori Atta ono na air protecting Ken Ofori Atta ono na air making sure say Ken Ofori Atta will never come to Ghana to face a prosecution. It is Kisie Jabin who is protecting Ken Ofori Atta. And majority of the people like Kisie Jabin say wafromo and they are under investigation or Obwa. He's protecting and shielding those people. That is how he makes his money. Into who say the people are mentioning you are in fact corrupt, and their evidence showing say you are corrupt. He'll come in quickly. He'll come in before the IOCO, he'll come in before the CID and tell them to stay away. He is in charge of the investigation. Remember, the OSP office is under the Attorney General's office. If you don't know, the OSP's office, it is under the Attorney General's office. And if the Attorney General demands or asking for a document, the OSP has no choice. He must give that document to the Attorney General. Why do you think he's not doing that? We have given this guy $14 million. $14 million. He cannot show anything. He has not prosecuted a single soul. It's Mumbusa Kisie Jabin Ochina say, why hasn't he provided these documents to the Attorney General? You see, sometimes, right? And I'm doing this because I want the president to know what is going on. There's a lot of bad people. There are a lot of people who want to destroy your government. And I'm telling you for a fact, Mr. President, so when you Kisie Jabin and I will go to office now, your government will struggle. Your government will struggle. Because Kisie Jabin is doing business. Kisie Jabin is one of the richest people in Ghana. So Kisie Jabin can crank up Poladimochenko so with jail and there. People are negotiating, using the office to do business. And that is what Kisie Jabin is doing. As we speak, Ken Ofori Atta has been assured by Kisie Jabin that he will not expose or transfer the docket and the investigations he's done so far. Parliament approves 146 million budget for Special Prosecutor's Office. Almost $14 million. $14 million. Almost $14 million to the Special Prosecutor's Office. We are asking him to provide just the investigative report. Just a docket. Just a docket. Just a docket. And you see, Mr. President, there are people in your government who are moles giving Ofori Atta and his group information every time your government, especially your intelligence, they decide on what to do about Ken Ofori Atta's issue. There are people in your government who are the ones feeding information to Ken Ofori Atta and his family. Mr. President, Mr. Jakpa, your group of investigators you work with, you have a mole in it. And those people are the ones feeding Ken Ofori Atta and his family. Every decision you are taking when it comes to investigations, finding the corruption, and the steps you people want to take, there's somebody in your circle, Jakpa. The national security must circle. About 2 people, They are the ones feeding Ken Ofori Atta and his family information here. And the OSP is also helping. The OSP's office needs to be shut down. This man, Kisie Jabeng, needs to be sacked. He cannot help. Ken Ofori Atta, as far as Kisie Jabeng is the OSP, Ken Ofori Atta is never coming to Ghana. I'm telling you on authority, Mr. President. Yes. I say, as far as Ken Ofori Atta, as far as you have Kisie Jabeng as your special prosecutor, docket Nikutano, or say ordinary investigations, Ken Ofori Atta will never come to Ghana. And it is a deal between Kisie Jabeng and Ken Ofori Atta. He's never going to bring him back. So if you want the people to trust you and trust your government, Mr. President, if you want Ghanaians to know that you are different and that you want to leave a legacy, the special prosecutor's office tomorrow morning, they need to hand over the docket to the Attorney General's office. They need to hand over the investigation report to the Attorney General's office. Kisie Jabeng is the one blocking Ken Ofori Atta's extradition. At least, must show evidence. The simple question will also be able to say, what is stopping the OSP from just giving the Attorney General Ken Ofori Atta's docket? What is stopping him? This man, Mr. President, you need to sack him and investigate him. Not just sacking. The special prosecutor needs to be sacked, and after he's sacked, investigations need to be open on the special prosecutor, because this man has caused a lot of damage. And if you don't take care, if we are going to play games, we are going to think this is normal, this OSP's office will shut down your government. He needs to be sacked and he needs to be investigated. I have a lot of report on this man, and he cannot stand before me and deny any of the reports. None of them. The simplest question is, why is the special prosecutor refusing to work with the Attorney General? Why? What will make the special prosecutor, who every day Ojina TV so can say, maybe somebody can Ofori Atta ba, maybe not go to Interpol so yadeneba me investigation. Why is he not collaborating with the Attorney General to make sure Ken Ofori Atta has been extradited? Because he works for Ken Ofori Atta and his family. The Attorney General is using us to do business. $14 million. The guy is making money out of us. He needs to be sacked and he needs to be prosecuted. These are very important things. We need to investigate the special prosecutor. In the next 24 hours, we need answers from Kisie Jabeng. Why? Why he has refused to respond to the Attorney General. The docket, the investigative report, and other information that will be necessary. Why has he decided to ignore the Attorney General? It is because Kisie Jabeng, it is because the special prosecutor is doing business with Ghanaians. Let me tell you, Ghana for. The kind of information I'm one, majority of you people don't have. And I can tell you on authority, I don't trust the special prosecutor one bit from information I'm in my war. At least, I showed you document and I've given you a document to take to him and say, is this true? If the media really want to save this nation, when it comes to the fight against corruption, a war enemy, we can force for corruption to be nullified. Tomorrow we need to confront this special prosecutor and ask him, is this document a lie? Did the Attorney General write to you? And then one responded, docket no papa dia. Investigative report no papa dia. Why don't you want us to see it? It is because no man investigations now are uncovered. No. So or release here or say and they can Ofori Atta Ghana. He's not going to do it because there's a deal. Edubuahin trial. AG withdraws charges against third accused Mildred Donko as she offers to testify for prosecution against the former NSB boss. Remember, Omwa Sebio na Omo Ejina Court no, including a year Edubuahin no, nomye nipa beye e 9. Abayua we your friend of Mildred Donko no mokai se ono ena excuse me, time asem de baye edubu ahen asem de baye na ogina court e defend no ho a oka say eye ne lawyer atachia abon opamo atachia wo court no ha sa abayiwa no ende ono ankasa abeka cha attorney general say onim say waye bone onim say edubu ahen mo use no amomo di bone onim say sebio omo dwirim de ye ka dwirim a sebio oka ho ene siye na emom no because open the fan hodie and I said the fan hodie no eye ni prison obekọ no ye bete so ama nti ono ebedi adanse a kire se eye edubu ahen sebio owia oman sika ode eye kotikwan so ene bo oman ne kro no intendem no ka say Mildred Donkwa na o defend ne ho say ombo kro no onye ehwe no ende o sits eye attorney general no oba beka attorney general team no ho aka edi no kre edi nse ama Ghana fo hu say sebio de course no eye edubu ahen no na onim hu bi ye fra bibi eye prosecution eye de she has offered herself to be a witness eye attorney general no ebe den ebe use no ede aden a prosecute eye den eye edubu ahen nti at least it is a step, it is progress. People who are parts of the corruption omo omni edubu ahen ebo kro no a ye nyina ye de omo nyina akogina efia court a ye toto omano no ebi astarte kasa dabi se mekwa akoda we fiase ama edubu ahen de se mekwa akodam ma edubu ahen sika we wia ode betwitwa no ho ana se sebio mekwa akoja menyire ene memma wo fie na makwa wo jail de ende meka no kra ewom no enti omo a sebio omo ni edubu ahen ebo kro no no omo astarte sesa oma no se ende omo beka no kra no na Ghana mra no sebio asotwe bia de bebo omo no ya go asotwe nim enti edubu ahen eye matese ochina sebio eye asem no ebefra no court enti eye madam e friend Mildred Donko o se ende no sebio se opesa okama ne da one eye attorney general na eye dwuma bom obeboa attorney general ama edubu ahen ene omo amaka omo wi Ghana sika no sebio ye behu nokura ewom na omo so sebio e wo se asotwe a ye de mo no ye de ama omo enti sande oti eye news we ababontin a oti news we ababontin a eye one of the suspects no omo say anasa accused eye persons no omo say omo ni attorney general ebe hwe nkwan abom na nokura wo mu bia omo aka we and I was say the attorney general is working. When you are able to flip a very critical suspect in a very high profile case to say, then it means you are really getting somewhere. It is not easy for somebody who has stolen and kept the money to themselves to just come out and say, me pesa me kano kureno na me hontome na sebio obi ehu de course. It is not easy. You need investigators, interrogators who are wise, intelligent enough to let the person now yebusa the question at say she or he cannot take the fall for somebody, because you can see clearly say omo boss akro no we a eye edubu ahen ka ho no majority of them are omo imagine say omo be di atro e de abo ekufo edubu ahen no omo nyina no omo refi omo ho say edubu ahen no we wie sike gu a obetumi edi agina court be 20 years. Yes. Na omo no aya no mu refi omo ho say edubu ahen no ono ena sika no ni mu kase no ekọ ne ho. Enti say omo agimi na so mbeka say ye de ye bebu edubu ahen ama edubu ahen ko jail a omo be ko jail na edubu ahen so akọ jail. You see, when it comes to political prosecution, it is not easy, and nobody should underestimate a political prosecution. Say obi aban adwuma na odi aban sika na wodi ni kogina quarter. Say afraid edubu ahen a also tia say obi a na oye adwuma wo edubu ahen office wo bia krata ne fa ne nsemu bia no sa nipa no e wo say sebio investigation no ekoka no. So it is not a day or it is not a month's work. It is adwuma a tedious. You need to be very tactical in prosecuting such a person, because one, you need to understand say ansa krata metu ne nim no na omo oni omo didi nkomo aplan se obobo sa akron no, it has been well planned. It is a way to make obi a oye involved a odi edubu ahen begina court for 10 years na on share that enya what will pin him down. But if you're able to get the people who have been accused of working with Edu Boahen to steal from us, it makes it easy for you to pin down the kingpin. And in this case, Edu Boahen is the alpha male. Or then the kingpin na sikani nyina ko si ni nsem. Inti, we should not underestimate the work of the Attorney General. It is tough. Sometimes we feel that he's being slow. And somebody, that the way the Attorney General sometimes, the case is slow to us. But can you blame the Attorney General? You cannot blame the Attorney General because you, the same person, you don't want the Attorney General to fail. You, the same person, you don't want the Attorney General to go to court and lose the case. So the Attorney General also needs to make sure for you to have that trust in him, he needs to diligently do his job. And he needs to make sure, so when you say Obe prosecutor, he needs to win. And all this comes with time, duration. It comes with being very tactical, taking your time to make sure, say, when you're Obe prosecutor, you have to go in and win. You don't have to say, well, chances are 50-50. Then it's better you don't even go in. I believe that the Attorney General can do better. The Attorney General can do more. The Attorney General can basically force to fast track some of the cases. That one day I agree. But we also need to understand and say, they are not stupid. Somebody who can steal over 500 million Ghana cedis is not stupid. So be a Benjuma now to me we have 50 million Ghana cedis, $10 million. Don't underestimate Sanipano or your Kromfua, why your Chronona check, or Bok Chronona check. It is not easy to steal government money. And sometimes people think that it is easy. It is not easy. It is almost Obia Bansika. Don't underestimate the intelligence of that criminal. Because nobody will steal from the government without knowing, say, Obetimia Kavanichi. For you to go after such people, you need to understand, say, Obia all protecting Ibiano, you are able to nullify the person before you can hang that person. And it's a bit time we can just say, oh, a bicycle we are the former obwa. Because you need to be extraordinary, smart, and a criminal to be able to steal from government. And it's uncle we should not just see them say, oh, we are bicycle. For somebody to work at National Service Bureau, National Signal Bureau, somebody to be on the top there, knowing IT, knowing how to move figures around, knowing how to block their signals, knowing how to shut down networks. When that person decides to steal, you need people who are more intelligent than that person to be able to prosecute and win against the person. So let us not underestimate this. In they did not just create a hole and to steal the money. They created holes, stole the money, and sealed the holes. You are the one who is supposed to find the holes that have been sealed to make sure, say, aha, now this is for Johnny. Aha, now we're sealing now, we're painting, aha, and a sikana fire. And I will tell the Attorney General to be quick in some of the prosecutions. We believe some of the prosecutions are supposed to be faster. Some of the prosecutions, are not supposed to be, we are not supposed to waste time on them. Some of the prosecutions are not supposed to last more than 6 months in court. They need to be quick. They need to be effective. Some of the prosecutions we understand, if it's going to take time, that is fine. But some are supposed to be quick, fast. And this is my advice to the Attorney General. You are not supposed to be pleasing anybody. You are supposed to be doing the job. Now, there's another story here. And it's got to do with a nurse for. Now, the health minister, Mr. Akando, and I can say, so far, I've seen a few ministers, but it looks like Akando has been working. Let's put everything aside. Osha, health sector, one of the sectors are NPP for a lot of burden power. For 8 years, the NPP did not retool any hospital in Ghana. For 8 years, they did not build any new hospital in Ghana. For 8 years, they did not equip any regional or teaching hospital. They didn't do anything like that. In also, to say, for 8 good years, we have our health sector stuck. Senior, in 2016, the health sector sat there for 8 years without having or getting any upgrade. It's when government changes, that's a buying for say now. The burden is on the new minister in charge of health to make sure say, face now, your health sector, he or she has been able to change it. So when you sit back, you can see say there is a lot of pressure on the health sector or on the health ministry, because majority of the facilities around the nation, the nurses who were denied their employment, the arrears, like it looked like say a health minister, you know, Ajima Menu, we no better than George no better than Ajima Menu cannot walk anywhere and say from 2017 to 2024 hospital way, we changed this hospital space, we re-equipped it 100%, we built onto me Kebi. It is like 8 years now NDC health sector no, it has deteriorated another 8 years and they have to pick it from there. For 8 years, NPP for Jaguar Manesa Proye. So if you are the health minister today, you need money to revive Afari. You need money to revive Sewia. You need money to rebuild La General Hospital. Mete say Jimmy te say Okoboy, Wakobi a fan club will say he is going to give the health minister pressure to build hospitals and build facilities. Kwasia Okoboy in Krania Boa. Ya your health minister and Okobu General Hospital to go ye. Okoboy Jimmy for me in the school. Me in the co persec. Okoboy onyini jam. He is so dumb and foolish. Politics mu adia mama nya position of politics no okuta Rebecca Kufuado bag e Jubilee House. You have been the health minister, Oya Nkrani Okoboy. You got the opportunity to serve your people in the Greater Accra region. You led the Achims and the Ashantis to break down a general hospital. Kwasia went man to block NC hospital. No, Ufri power 6 months. Waba say, Opese NC hospital. Uyo dying. And these are the people. Sometimes they get us pissed off and we insult them because school no answer. Now let's delve into this matter. The health minister has made a statement, and a very important statement. Or say, and I quote, if we don't act now, we could have about 180,000 trained health professionals sitting at home by 2028. Now, he expressed concern over the growing backlog of qualified health workers awaiting posting and employment. Or say, by 2028, nurse for ombe school ababetina fia yentumi form adwuma aban entumi form adwuma normal be 180,000. Why? Because aban needs to make sure say backlog na egu ona NPP aban ejagu ona oban form adwuma no. Now pressure is on the government to employ the backlog. Now remember, aban na epesika ediafa omo ayan form adwuma 8 years no. Na new group of nurses so ewie school almost so eba abetina fie. In this ya by 2028, nursing school we are 180,000 no because that backlog that was created it won't end every 2 weeks. Nurse for be and Ghana say demonstration. 2021 for 2022 for 2023 for all these people are supposed to be employed, and when they say they are supposed to be employed, it means they are all supposed to be paid. Now there are nurses and health professionals for about 2-3 years, the government that left power did not pay their arrears. And all these people are on the sidelines also trying to get their money. This is the same government that is supposed to take money budget to the health ministry. So on your hospital, on equipment, on for upgrade. The same health ministry sikano was say osaibi editia a backlog for salary. So you can see, say, the problem that has been created by Ekufuado Bawumia in the last 8 years, it is not something that we can use 4 years to deal with. We can try to solve it. And in the process of solving the problem, we are going to encounter a lot of bigger problems. Now, every day, I believe it's about time the government of Ghana stopped employing nurses. It is not the duty of the government to employ nurses. Imagine, say, the government of Ghana, I can say, we are also going to go the American way. Abino is not going to employ any nurse. The government is going to work with private entities that have qualified nurses. You know, the reason why in Tia, Amanfobi or Ghana, nursing school, they cannot do anything. So it's because the courses they offer here, there is no competition. So the nursing for now, nursing school, they offer basic nursing courses. They cannot offer any advanced courses out of the basic nursing now. Inti majority of nurses for you produce basic nurses. So they still need to upgrade on specific qualification before they can be given a specific job to do. Inti so study nurses graduate to Ghana no because general nurses. They don't have any special skill, another special thing be almost a different job to do. Now, what the government should do, and what I believe will help, we need to have reliable, accredited companies, institutions that will absorb nurses at the end of their graduation. Now, the government will have to now find these institutions and contract them to provide the government with nurses. Now, the government has to pay these nurses through these institutions or private companies. Now, when the government nurses through a private company, what is going to happen? And say nurse be ye Juma or Rich Hospital. It is going to go against that company that hired the nurse. Meaning, if 10 nurses here Juma or Rich, no money in Kevin Taylor a nursing school a company and a 4 more. Nurse ya pamo more. That Kevin Taylor nursing company no accreditation value no be conform. Inti these companies are absorbed nurses no they are renting a buy for the buying to pay the nurses through them no. They will make sure say they are giving the government the highest quality. Nurses are no. They are bringing them as technically expatriates in Ghana. Inti nurse ni bi ye juma na say at the end of the day yeah assessing nurse na say nurse no baby ofri ba no e kire say o company nurse nya papa o company no and the license no na at the end of the day ka inti these companies will try everything possible to hire nurses who are hungry, who are ready to serve, who are qualified to serve, and it will bring competition because these agencies will be able to absorb the nurses and give them different training now. Sebio radiology near the nurse for instance. These companies will be forced to even give their nurses those trainings. Send a beya omo value ni be kosro. Now, what we are doing in Ghana right now, and they say, omo nurses could not pass out. Aban say absorb the government of Ghana. It does not matter who becomes the president and who is the party in government. No government can absorb all nurses in Ghana. It can never happen. And we are creating unemployment with this strategy which isn't working. It's about time. A man kwane kones rati asese. So ko nursing school and just automatically aban be fa. Who we nursing school who grade a obenya no. There are companies sitting and waiting. Group when they we mu no munya first class. I need these ones. They are smart. Because check your grades, where there when it comes to communication we're good. When it comes to this we're good. I need this. So the companies will be fighting for nurses who qualify, nurses who are basically the products they want. Now these companies, some person are buying more bigger contracts. That's are buying 200 nurses from her and 1,000 nurses from her. These companies will be forced to put together institutions and schools are. But nurses, another training a regular nursing school, So in this case, these respective companies will also be competing among each other. They will be giving the nurses more extra education. Skill the regular nursing school will not give them. And that is what we need to adapt. Because if we don't do that, and we make it look like so we are nursing school we are going to destroy more lives than to create opportunities for people. And every time we are you have backlog of nurses. And the Sagana Nines etu kwan kwa bruchira yentumi fa na I'm being honest with you. You fa na because on see anything apart from basic nursing. And in nursing, and as in the health sector, you need to have some extra skill. And there are a lot of equipment you should be able to handle. There are lots of courses in Ghana we don't offer. And the moment you allow international companies, aban betumi oma yejuma, aban betumi age necessary from there will be competition. These institutions are now private institutions, they will build health facilities with other equipment. Nurses, other skill, they will upgrade them. Into Debiano, they want to be the agency. The government is willing to work with them. Into one agency, we know, I buy 10,000 nurses. All because there are nurses from this agency, almost radiology, almost aka almost regular nurses. But this same institution, be in Ghana, almost regular nurses now. I buy to me if you say almost skill near limited. This is the only way the government can shed this problem, because it is looking like say I was saying at the end of the day. As nurses, it's not going to be possible. And we need to be critical about this. It's about time we open this up. It's about time your private institutions are absorbing nurses. In the Sobi nursing school, now you say automatically me nursing school are buying also from a juma. Now you say me nursing school no na me graduate here. Me person because Kevin Taylor their institution we move because they one, well known. Two, almost somehow some extra skill be and then the are buying very interested in employing their people. It is a buying employ 10 nurses from this company. What is going to happen and say is the company that is supposed to assess the nurse. When the government writes any query about that nurse, it goes against the company. So the company will make sure say one nurse you don't go and misbehave. Yet is a nurse be at a TikTok. Yet is a obi bewu na nurse ni bi eche no. All that we do is write a query to the company that employed you, and the company with that 24 hours can withdraw you. It is not a job of the government to say we're nurses union, Ghana nurses registered. No, it is the company that has to withdraw you, because the company now withdraw in 24 hours. The Ekosi Ridge Hospital no. Say companies nurses no more jumama respective companies and companies in Yabebaho abeji omo results. Say what happened? Give me your report. That company the Akko said no. This nurse did not behave well. We are withdrawing our nurse. We are bringing a new one. That's how it works. But you see, these nurses are entitled. They are not working, but they want all the recognition. They want to be paid in full. That is why there's this laziness when it comes to our nurses. The nurses are supposed to work for private institutions that can fire and hire anytime. There is no fear in our nurses. The nurses are not getting any extra knowledge. These people are being trained and put in the system, and they are all waiting to be called to come and work in the hospitals. The government cannot absorb them. In some way, we need to take it seriously. It is not a joke. If we think that a government can come and absorb all nurses there and they abort them, it will never happen. It will never happen. If we like, let us try this as a pilot for Ghana. Most nurses come to school and come to private institution because one, so me be a private institution in Ghana. Na say me the equipment ba na regular things na mutua no nursing school no me dey metumi echiremo radiology dey ka ho abra wa register with my institution after school. When the government is looking for qualified people like that, the government will reach out to my company. Do you have 10 of these students who can operate this machine? Say yes, we have. You will be sitting at home. They will employ that person from that company. Now the government will pay the company your salary. So you cannot come and stand in front of the government ministry and say, we are demonstrating. Go and demonstrate at the company because they are the ones who employed you. The government pays you through the company. That is why you don't see nurses demonstrating at the hospitals in America. That is why you don't see doctors demonstrating, because no government employee. It is the private agencies that have employed nurses and doctors. Let us try this. This is going to work. There will be some discipline in the system. Nurses will now be committed to their job. The sense of entitlement will be taken away. Now, we the patients too will see the changes in the attitude of our nurses. Now, we will be able to know a patient who is not respecting a nurse. We will see it clearly. Why are we forcing ourselves? Why are we destroying ourselves? There's an advice to the minister. There's an advice to the government. We cannot absorb all these people. It is never true. We can't. Let's give other agencies the opportunity. Let them come and build facilities. Let us go inspect it. Let us say you are certified to be a government agency that supply government with nurses. That's all. Your found nurses 200. if we are paying that with that, government can negotiate with this private institutions how much they want to pay a nurse. Into institution A, you treat nurse be $1 a day. Now institution B, you treat nurse $2 a day. The nurses after school, they will all want to work with institution B. So it will bring the competition. Nurses' salary will go up. Will not be the government that will decide how much a nurse is supposed to take. There will be less pressure on the government. Because the institutions, the private institutions that are absorbing the nurses, it is about what you have, the training you add. It is what the demand. The demand, we are demanding for people who can operate machines. This company has it. This company pays $10 an hour. This company, the workers, they are doing the right job. You will see that most of these nurses, pay free school, there's no burden on the government. Because I'm buying for Juma. So I will see school now, so you will get an agency to employ you for us to employ you. If the government employs nurses, health practitioners through agencies, nobody will demonstrate in Ghana again. Who are you demonstrating against? Go to the agency office and demonstrate. Because there's a contract between the government and the agency that employed you. The agency is taking $2 million from the government. The agency is paying you $2. I don't care. The agency knows the labor law. You are not supposed to be paid below the living wage or the minimum wage. So there's a standard. But you cannot pay below the standard. At least pay above the standard. That is it. Let us try and start thinking a little bit. Because this statement from Akando is dangerous. He is the minister. He sees it. The piling of nurses' backlog, it is not going to stop. Salary, they be not lucky. Say, yes, we are winning the bed now if you are buying so. There's so much money the government can use in building our health sector in a short space of time. If the government tries this, I'm on pilot to wake Akando should pilot this for just 2 years. You will see what will happen in Ghana. All these nurses are nursing school. They'll be chasing these agencies. I'm telling you. You will see. You will get nurses who are being employed by private hospitals, who are being employed by public hospitals because it is competitive. The salary is good. Nobody is going to chase government. And a locum, and a dress, and a pay chain, and a pay watch. Those things, it is not going to be the burden of the government. Sebasa, the government can help nurses or buying school or muchia idea to become nurses. The government help ends when you exit the school. And they say, oh, call it for alawa. At that point, the government will say, okay, I can help with alawa, or I won't help with alawa. I'm going to do this rather. You can take loan. The government can help you whilst you're in the school. The moment you exit the school, you are not the responsibility of the government. You are on your own. Whatever you learned in that school, there are agencies around. You need to try and get employed for the government to hire you through that agency. Finished. This should be done. If I get the opportunity to speak to Mr. Kando, I'll tell him, Mr. Minister, try this, pilot this in our 2 regional hospitals and see. Get 2 agencies in Ghana. And let me tell you, your nurses need basic nurses. There are companies in Europe and America, more opportunity to see facilities are training nurses apart from their basic training. And Ghana. You will not see demonstration from nurse. And the nurse in the street so a demonstration there. Yento atadeɛ ma ne nhyɛ. Yento atadeɛ ma ne nhyɛ. Abainin to atadeɛ ntimi bu ofu. And a working condition. Working condition. Why are you asking me working condition? The working condition. Nipa no fa odwuma no. And also say nipa no dey go hospital bi. Na say hospital no nyoma also dey adwuma ni wa. You tell the person you can't work there. Take me from there. The government will be forced to fix that hospital. But you don't come and send the government, give me shirt, give me dress, give me shoes. Every day, government. Government responsibility is to give you education. When government finishes giving you education, you have to go find where to work. And government needs to create the atmosphere, the environment for that. Before I end today's show, Adebia Yapa, and it's about this. Bringing Bawumia back as flag bearer for 2028 will keep us NPP in opposition for 12 years. Kede Japan akasa. Or say, Ode Bawumia ebaba back biemno. He knows for a fact to say, NPP bets na opposition for 12 years. And the MPP before nam say Kevin Taylor ye campaign ma Kennedy Japan. Me ya. Me MPP ni. And I may choose say me kan no kre na kire me MPP for. Na asama Kennedy Japan kan yi ehfa na ya tro. Saka Mahamudu Bawumia etumi nya a number bimpo e sustain a MPP seat or parliament in Pokeka. Anka this statement can make us say no kre. But even the number of seats say Tuma Bawumia inti Tuma MP niso. It means Bawumia back and front in here he's not attractive. Or the no tare MP be a MP ni be lose. And on one sujina on one be lose. Inti Kennedy Japan has a point. Or see CSR is a nipa we ya ko. Bawumia na de ko ya you lose all the seats. Bawumia na de ko ya you lose a record they been see Ghana politics with that. Inti a Jimmy Cross saying and Sanfa Bawumia anko. We also say it didn't attempt. And one of the spokespersons for Bawumia, we see, and then who a young man, small baby, you saw Kasama MPP, you saw a lawyer, small baby, I can take care of him. Now, Okasa didi ba a Kennedy Japan attempt, say, hey, because of politics. Some small boy, I don't know his name, small boy, also a lawyer, with Nanoko Kobe, I saw one petition, small baby, Osha on my memonete, very small boy. Afuaka will say, small boy, he's not even coherent. Onim de oka osa. Broken heart kwebe onyebi. Osa. Because of politics in tea. This small boy was sitting on GH1 or TV3 and trying to insult Kennedy. And I'm saying, how did we get here? This is a young man who even pulls a table before he sleeps. Or treat table and sana wada. Tim, do you know the name? I don't you know me, I don't put MPP communicators on my show because they are not worth it. Some small boy be like that. What's his name? Some small boy be Afuakwa said, small boy. This is a boy who is very weak-minded. Say a biniben will deal because of politics. The box is square roof 4. And he's trying to insult Kennedy Japan. Adentra Okasama Bawumia. And I'm saying, now broken out that. And Obra Kennedy abo me. Some Kennedy atema because my Bob brat is Kennedy. Obra Mabono, it is the same as Kennedy. And I have the right to even insult Kennedy Japan because me need dada. Now who small boy? Me dada, Kennedy a dada. Me a CEO, Kennedy a CEO. If I speak against Kennedy, I'm fit to do that. Now you, because of party politics, no man I have for. Girl, be here. Let me show you this girl. Bawumia. She works for Bawumia. Now she Adibia Obiena no catch Kennedy. Jesus Christ. Your friend Dr. Ekuya Mwako. The doctor na you say. Or a political activist, deputy spokesperson for Bawumia. Now, or say Kennedy a Japan's logic. Hey, politics MP. And these are the people Bawumia is funding. These are the people are MPP for no modeda by heart. Until now they feel say they can just insult Kennedy because you perceive Bawumia lead the party. You kufu adon kwara. Oh, just say this girl Kennedy house girl crampo who for chain girl we. Opa me any Photoshop ni bibia ni amfa ni meji now. I saw chain. Or see Kennedy Japan's logic has always been faulty. Jesus Christ. What you say? Said he rants more than he reasons. Or see Kennedy Japan logic it has always been faulty. Mami didwo munchiro. Or see Kennedy adwene a ye de dwene no. Sebio na adwene no bibi aka na adwene nim. Na adwene no sebio enye adwuma. Yaka say car way or faulty a. O boss one tete bibia say wom. Or see sa adwene ene adwene mu ntini a ye de dwene. Emeka say we di o ye nipa na onya aboa no. Or see Kennedy die no e kire say onye nipa no ya boa na adwene nsisi so yaka say faulty or say Kennedy a Japan's logic wa adwene mu ntini ho tia ene yaka say o logic ne nye adwuma e faulty girl we bie na no ka check Kennedy Japan say na adwene mu ntini ne nye adwuma ne logic no engina so sebio ho atochema ene friend say yaka say bibi e faulty girl we no obie na no ka check Kennedy and I say he rants or say okasa je nanu nsuo. He rants more than he reasons. Or say nanu je okasa ansana na adwene aye adwuma. Or say nanu kasa ye tan onim nyansa ye de kasa. Inti kasa firi no mu ba ansana wadwene. Inti opeso chen say Kennedy Jimmy to the point to say the be firi no mu aba no ondwene ho. Wa kan wie no ansana wadwene. Inti Kennedy yakwasea. Wei NPP ni ba oye dwuma ma ba omia oye kasama fo ma ba omia wa kyerɛ ne brofo ntodwen sɛ ɛda fam enim tia omudi bu Kennedy no ɛne na man ya me ya as an NPP former NPP person. I'm still part of it. And sometimes we better be because oh Kevin Taylor or your campaign ama Kennedy Makacham say the NPP will stay in opposition for 42 years. It does not matter who represents the NPP. But the issue here is, how can we allow such young people in the party? Girl, when the draws you're saying, obey a doctor da bang. Jantra was starting da bang to look at Kennedy and tell Ghana Funina on Twitter, say Kennedy a Jimmy for Okasa ansana wa jene na adwene mu nsipi wei na Kennedy wafa mafa krama kra wei onfa ne nda. So how did we get here? How can the party come this low? All because I was a Baumia Bayer flag bearer. Fine, we know you are going to rake Muberium, but at least show some respect. Oh, your bar. Or bar we got offended to say Bearman Fanny Bearman shed it too. Now, Ojina can some way. Then we sit and we think this is normal. Yes, cinema made in Nako school, never part in Nako school. Now Aketesia we need to Krodo sold in Nam Krum say, me a doctor. Such a dirty riffraff. The despicableness of this. And today, you need to be a friend of Bawa, or be being a numkasa, I say Bini Gunenum, all because of politics, because Bawomiana Neyere, Zimo. What is this? Sani party no. What kind of disrespect is this? Aden, it's Bawomia and the flag bearer, then be see. Now, people like you put a man like Kennedy there, and then because of politics, yeah, NDC are buying. Cedi appreciates with $1 now trading at 10 Ghana 62 pesos. And the dollar no, and the we $1. We $1 now cost ubenya 10 Ghana 62 pesos. 10 months. Ajo Mahama be the president. Time Ajo Mahama ba bemuno. Now we $1. Now we 17 Ghana 86 pesos. And the Sena Bibi ewa eye normal and could be to my ye ama dollar no and they could for the no baumia about 10 come ye. Say and the old catch them say NDC are buying a Chesica, a good bank of Ghana mu, and it's $1 number for my Adentina Mahamadu Baumia, and you could for them. I don't know when Chesica gum ama dollar number 2. More NPP for nam with Jimino. More Ghana for ni bina munimunansano. Some must say Baumia economist. Now say ende dollar na every 17 aba bedu 10 in less than a year. Adentina Baumia ewa power now here the head of economic management team. Now more finance minister Ofori Atta more from Musa Mudi Muniati Munimunyansa no. Adena says Sikana atofo mu echegum ama dollar number for my adena mudi mwenche sikengum. Because if that was the solution, if it was that easy, why didn't you people take that route? It should tell you. Say, kwasiye bitina ka just say, eye sika do bi twegum tina dollar number for my sa nipa do nim nyansa. Because twasika keke da for good system nim na dollar number for no. Na do dan kwekufu ado no ba omia mo. No mu hia tumi kya nyankopon. No mu hia tumi e kya onyankopon. Na nka adenti na mu ntwangum na nka dollar na emba 9 time na e beto aba no. Because enye sika no nko a wo betwa gum no e na be ma dollar number form. Utwa sika no gum na we need any plan to sustain baby sika no dura. Over to $100 billion a gum. Still, the dollar will not come down. It's all about prudent measures, fiscal discipline. It's about knowing what to do. You to me no munyinako chop bar. Your mom 10 cedis, 10 cedis. Omunyinako to diane and so kwa obia diane a different. Because obi oha otofufo 2 cedis and oto nam 8 cedis. Obi tofufo 6 cedis and oto nam 4 cedis. Nina 10 cedis. But at the end of the day, no. Different. That should tell you, say, Who the sikama nipa mienua, the same money, it depend how the person spent the money na obehu nyanse dan itrim. Into obi betuma to eduane 2 cedis. Na wato enam 7 cedis. Na aka den, na aka den 1 cedi. Na da shadow ho. Obi beto den fufuo 4 cedis. Na wato enam 6 cedis. Na oni bibia. Enso beto mu mienu eduane a o adwene be o se eduane nyina yepe. That is what we call wisdom. Into NPP before no jimi no, they could not apply wisdom. They could not basically sit down to analyze problem no to find a solution to it. Intermediate, they be catch Ghana for. This is what we wanted, and we are getting what we wanted. At this point, you know, Obi no bet me asesa ma adwene afa NDC aban ho. Asesa Ghana ni a okoto aba in 2024. Say na dwuma say na ohwe bia dollar ni agina ni dwetire ehye. Obi okokwan so, obi owo Ghana odi dwuma kaka say me hu we inti eye me ya say metwas mentwaso dabi. This should tell you say you won conform ni nyansa omo di Ghana so sisia. Why should anybody waste their time on the NPP? Why should anybody waste their time on the NPP that was given 8 years to make these kind of corrections easier? And you see, there's something going on in Ghana. Makache Ghana for say be careful about the media, especially Joy News, a fake news. When we say Joy News for Estate, Jandambi, NDC bar power, Makache say they need money from the government. They want to corrupt the NDC government. The way they were aligned with the NPP, the way they were taking money from NPP for not omu. Right now, the NDC government is delivering. So there's no reason for the government to be going to join you to say, ye di atro, na mon cover ya trust my. Into right now, join is for Alpha Adwinibi say, no matter how good this government is delivering, they will find a way to make the government look like they are not working. But you and I, Ghana Nibi Oshemi behind him say, this government is delivering. Now, idea, my mentor could be almost say, Join News, almost start agenda no with Edian Gala. Amaya Gala agenda na into me, Uncle Bibia, they are tired. The jandama no mukuki about Galamsey and a young kwaha and young documentary and from a hammer picture to so na say abino. Ghana for realistically are seeing say the government of the day is willingly taking steps to fight illegal mining. It's on say the reaction are not Joy News for a free a yet Ghana for no. They are not getting it because Ghana for young kwasia for. So oka se galamsey won kran ya na tifie ene enim de ekoso ye na ye ne NPP tina ye ene de ye NDC ti indi se aban na oteso no eye bibia we see it. You are not supposed to be in Accra to bring a mic to Bekwai to come and tell us what we should think or how we should think. Inti won say they are forcing some jandam in the system. Sa jandam no enye juma. Right now what are they doing? They are trying to now go back and say okay, galamsey no allegation no ana jandam no anye juma. And the moment you 24-hour economy, you have to be careful. The media, especially multimedia, Joy News, a dangerous platform. Now, the Azan any atra na omudi air to galamsey so, any person of the data Ghana for the Anyejuma, and then the Omaba almost say, oh, 24-hour economy. John Mahama Abino, so why in 24-hour economy, dear, we fairly Ghana for. John Mahama Abino, Sisiano. 24-hour economy no and any idea say went to me anya na Ghana near and the Yesi hospital amano no we failing no John Mahama ban no 24-hour economy no went to me anya e kwan na wo se o ya akwa aflawo wo de fa eyeku wo de fa nkranmemu wo de fa asantimemu ring road a wo ye nyina no na we failing Ghana for. Join this for catcher say 24-hour economy no say entumi amba so a na John Mahama na say osi eye regional hospital kra na John Mahama failing. Almost say even though dollar na John Mahama picky free 17 ababedru 10 nyoma eko ye aya edwadifo 8 mi fa nyoma de ba no Joy News for say John Mahama anya bibia for the 24-hour economy na John Mahama fairly Ghana for. Now you ask yourself as a journalist, how do you understand 24-hour economy? So what 24-hour economy as say enye event as a journalist you will not stand on TV to say John Mahama Abino are implemented 24-hour economy the way you want it. I will feel it. Now you are not fit, you are not qualified to discuss national issues. 24-hour economy is not an event. 24-hour economy, it is never an event. And I want Ghana for Joyce. This young man, he does not really understand what he's talking about. He's playing with words. He is playing with words. And the reason is that Yaya Garam say Jandam na anye juma. Into right now, let's try something else. Yansha say bibi betuma stick here. Yansha say the 24-hour economy no conversation about and na ebetumi aden ebetumi 24-hour economy. It's a process. Institutions and individuals. It's a process where institutions and individuals will get the opportunity to be part of building an economy. It is not saying NAPCO, Yakojina Independence Square. You get 100,000 people wearing t-shirt, and then that will tell Ghana for say NAPCO is effective. So you need to distinguish between what we call a policy that has impact on institutions, individuals, and a policy that is not imposed. This is a policy where people are supposed to willingly enroll onto it when they see other factors of the economy coming together. So when John Mahama's administration says 24-hour economy, it is not something on a placard or something on a slate that will be going around and given. Some things needs to come together for the 24-hour economy policy to be effective. Now, how do you get your economy running on 24 hours? You need consistent electricity. Now, we have a government, abanya, ebetina so, I'm making sure say, okanye jina so, energy. Anamebwa. Now, you want to run the economy in a way where every single part of the economy, no, obia hubetima hihana, obetimi aye juma, ama embre dodono akoso. I'm talking about working longer hours. That means increasing productivity, whether government or individual, whether commercial or private. So the 24-hour economy in I say we want to extend the time we work. And how do we extend the time we work? We can only extend the time we work when there is consistent energy. And when I say consistent energy, I'm talking about nkania nkania jinaso. So when you fundamentals no right, you would think the 24-hour economy is an event. It is a Kufu Adamo ye no ewo infa ewo eye Independence Square no. Now when you get the energy sector solid, standing on its own, you can rely on it. You need not just energy, you need reliable energy. Reliable energy. So obi ebie cold store. Onu say ne kanya ni be gina so enya dia ebe dundum ama wa boka. You need reliable energy, and that is what the government is doing. Now, you need security. Now, recently, I say, on my way, a by way, more police and more military men. Now, you can start your 24-hour economy if you don't have the security to protect that industry or whatever policy you are putting in place. 24-hour economy runs through the night, and you need security to make sure, say, every company, every entrepreneur, or person who longer hours is protected. You still cannot end up having effective 24-hour economy. So one, the government is also looking at making sure they have been able to employ enough security personnel to make sure, say, 24-hour economy in start here. That protection, security now, it is there. Now, recently, it is say, Aban Eka 24-hour village, and every constituency, they are going to start making sure, say, at least they have what we call a community market. It will run longer hours. You need protection. You need security. You cannot just say this market will run 24 hours, and I say any juma through the night and could do maybe at 3 a.m. and at 4 a.m. without you having the necessary security to protect people. And when you come on TV, that's what I say. 24-hour economy is something that if you don't do, you have failed the people. Right now, when you go to the port of Ghana, it is running 24 hours. When you go to the passport office, it is running 24 hours. When you go to DVLA, it is running 24 hours. The government has started building this nation. journalist where Ojina Joy as one okano, he sees 24-hour economy as an event. Or expect to say NDC bino ebefro ubia by Independence Square. Near Bell lunch 24-hour economy. Near board drums, near sa. Near no actually say a policy has been launched. No. Practically, you need to get some things right, and sana a policy can be effective. You got a policy, decisions you take that will change the lives of the people positively. And no. Because more policy, more politician, more policy. It is just an idea. Ube to me the assistant brabo and different policy. Now, when you have the idea and you are not able to implement it effectively, that policy is a waste of time. And that is what we have been used to when it comes to the NPP as a political party. Into Shaba Umia, any NPP for you through your 33 policies. But Ubusan's 33 policies, how has it impacted the lives of the ordinary Ghanaian onto me country? Because they were just ideas. They were not ideas that can be practicable, that can be practiced, that can be put in use, that can change the life of the young man. Indeed, there are differences between political talk and practical policies. In this original TV, so that's what I say. 24-hour economy, say NDC government, end to me anya denya, end to me anya, no fairly bibia. Then you don't understand what 24-hour economy means. It is basically like a cycle. It intertwines. Say passport office here juma effectively. Also, I say courier services subenya juma effectively. Say courier services here juma effectively. Omo ede the passport no command for on during every time of the day. Then it means to say people are going to get their passport quickly. Now, when people are getting their passport quickly, it means those who want to use the passport to do other things, they are also going to be able to do it quickly to also whether travel or internally to get what they want to get. Now, after that, there's another chain. Into Unim say, when you say 24-hour economy, it is basically like only a waso form. The ants come around it and everybody takes a piece of it to make sure, say, baby, kubiano, it is not an event. I will say, Independence Square, near 24-hour economy. Now, there's a part in the statement, video I'm watching, maybe na jandam no, or can be if I say, oh, NDC are buying, and there, you say, Gehok for say 24-hour economy, to me, and yeah, because they are bringing in more alcohol. No, that is not what the man said. The Gehok boss, he did not say, in Saeba Ghana into 24-hour economy, they cannot implement. That is the jandama, these media houses, journalists, young journalists, that's what they do. Listen to them say. Obe eji sa ejumawe. They basically run the company down. And when I'm Ghana, Castle Bridge, a young man on the street wouldn't even know Castle Bridge. There are some products here for a long time. Na Gehok, a producer, a made in Ghana product that people believed and knew it. And since it's Oba Gehok, who say the people don't even know the kind of products they put on the market. If you want to implement 24-hour economy, these are some of the setbacks they came to meet. And what do they have to do? They have to try and bring Gehok back to the status whereby Ghanaians who prefer to consume Gehok products over foreign products. And it is true. You cannot run 24-hour economy when a company that is supposed to be Ghanaian and being in every home is being taken over or has been overshadowed by the influx of foreign product because it does not have the capacity to impose itself on its people. And the Gehok boss wasn't saying he cannot implement 24-hour economy. He was saying that there are things that needs to be put in place. There's work to be done. And then when that work is done, 24-hour economy implementation is easy. Because right now, the company is not even producing enough. But before this NPP government came to power, this government was producing enough alcohol in the system, distilled alcohol, where Ghanaians basically knew their local alcohol that has been distilled effectively. NPP by power, no, that is not there. And he was telling the media, we need to work and put the company in a position whereby now we can produce more, because when they don't demand, why do you produce more? The 24-hour economy is a demand and supply issue. Now, we have Gehok and Kofi Juma Kwasi Ampenyi now, or running company down. Now, you need to lift the company up. You need to make the company cash intensive. You need to make the company's capacity grow. You need to make sure the demand na Ghana for open, because then the Ghana for open 2 million bottles of Castle Burger. Can Gehawk produce it? No. So he needs to find a way to bring Gehawk back into the competition. Why should a journalist stand on TV and say, we just heard Gehawk saying 24-hour economy, they cannot run it? Are you crazy? What kind of misinformation is that? What do you people get? Say Joy News, Moya Sadia na. What do you get? Adan ye nyina chichire man na nipa bia omadwere say they just want to lie. Ombeso mutwa ni patro. The man didn't say that. The man was telling you about the deficiencies he came to inherit. And if you are not producing, you don't get the demand. You cannot meet the demand. And if you cannot meet the demand, you are not going to work throughout the night. Unless the demand is there. Right now, Gehawk does not have that face that Ghanaians are attracted to it. So he needs to find a way for Gehawk to be attractive again. That's it. So how can a young man sit on radio or stand on TV to say, oh, Mr. President, if you don't do 24 hours economy, Gehawk, are you people, why do you do that? What do you get from doing that? And also, no, I say, Jimmy, we are building a nation. You can report without lying to the people. You can report without doing jandam. Why do you people? Why? Joy News, what is it you want? Jesus Christ. Now, let's move forward. I'm in Shoma Debi. So this jandam has been killed, right? It's exactly 5:20, 9:20. We need to get serious in this country. Intuition Joy News for the number na a deliberate, a jandam. On person say abino. This government is performing, whether you like it or not. This government is performing. This is Kofi Juma when he was the boss of Gehawk. Maxwell Kofi Juma's Gehawk. Maxwell Kofi Juma's 50.6 million Ghana cedis appreciation debt questioned. A car ought be between 50.6 million. When the town Saboka, Kwasiawi, or Tikumasi na Jimmy. Ne ho tantan adea ne ba ware kufu adoba enti o Jimmy ama meyenka akwa we kotena Gehawk onko office ena we create committee no tifie ena oji sikadi o kan yes Kofi Juma nyini na we nyini na we Jimmy a Kofi Juma ran Gehawk down to zero wasi ampenyi we nenim tantan ne ho tantan ya rebia bi won ho ponche kro ne beda aponche kro a ne beda. These were the people running Gehawk. And somebody comes to take over and say, no, we need to make the company attractive again. We want to make sure the 24-hour economy, na Ghana for a demand for more. We want to make sure we do the right thing to get to that point. Or say, the Gehawk people are saying they can't do 24-hour economy. Kwasi Ampenyi we running Gehawk down. Obiba Sorese Kevin Taylor diatem. We Jimmy. Right now, what I do is I defend what is right and make sure this government NDC stays in power for 42 years. It's me. So find a way to take power. I won't give you fight. I won't banter you. My job here is to enlighten Ghanaians, open their minds for them to know the truth. It's me. I don't fight. I don't do that. But my job here is simple. Is to explain to Ghanaians. They also muhu na a guide you e shape o madwene na omo koto aba obo say part way nipa we nim nyansa we Jimmy we na mpese meboa no. That is my job. If you are insulting me and fighting me, it will not give you power. Because I am not fighting you. I am protecting the power. Because I've seen something good in this government. Your job is to dismantle me and win power. And it's not that easy. Because muni no kre. I hold the truth. And it's now, I am solid in what I do. 42 years, I'll keep NDC in power. 42 years, you cannot change that. Now, the next one is this. It's exactly 5:23 and 9:23 in Ghana. And they are sorry, movement for change for ABBA officially say Omate political party. Alan Kojo Chairmantin any the group omuye NPP for and sorry Alan Kojo Chairmantin's movement for change rebrands into political party now known as United Party UP, the new UP. Ebi amu asenkregwa mo amu tafo pankrono mo amu dichiwa mo mame krum denu ene mo papa krum ayeldo mo ebi amu oboase dunkwao amakom ene sebio enyanya nchirem ose de na Kevin King yesi Alan de na waye Alan Kojo Chairmantin NPP fo a omuso hu omu se sebio party no enkoyi a omote omo ho no afede party na basa na nkasa omotu omo se omato party ni din UP enti movement for change na sebio eyekuo se sia de aye amanyokuo. There's a difference between a movement yenhia yenkokan adwene yenka bibima obi ehu se yeso ye pa de palma Ghana yeso pese nyoma ko ye friend movement okọ na we to abasakọ mu we nsada we kom we sire ye bosire hehe ye friend movement ye nyina ya adwene ye se we de edi ekira ebeboaye and a movement and Alan Kojo Chairmantin say sesia no ye nto abasakọ mu biem sesia de yagye akonwa atena se wate de amanyokuo ye wo de ekuo ene amanyokuo ene party political party and Alan Kojo Chairmantin ati amanyokuo aye from United Party. United Party. Na me be chraw ensem bia e wo se wote ase na hu ene adekudie ntia ende NPP ye frɛ New Patriotic Party no adekudie ntia Alan Kojo Chairmantin na nko so o lead NPP before Ekufuado oje mu ma Ekufuado Alan Kojo Chairmantin sebio obo no ho modern campaign sebio impempenso bi oja ma Ekufuado edu na pen so Ekufuado ne ba omiamo ka ne hyeye eburu ne chifo papa bi ani and wate ne ho akoti UP no me be kire wa Ghana for no say NPP no oma esa chinchina oma ese edien abosoma kotre o say omutumi tisa omo kala omutumi sisa omo din omutumi esesa sene omo kasa omutumi esesa sene omo tie na omusu ne de ensesa o say who they are, what they are, their nature, you cannot change them. They will come in different colors and in different names and they are manifesting ama ye nyina ye hu say the NPP na fapem miensa ene gina so. The NPP has 3 pillars. Nya say NPP gina 3 pillars so a omu gina dankwa, domo, and abuzia. These are the 3 pillars NPP egina so. Nti NPP fo a ye woni pa bi a because of dankwa nti eno mo NPP mu. Ye woni pa bi so a because of dombo nti eno mo NPP mu. And ye woni pa bi a because of buzia enti no mo NPP mu. So 3 groups omu nyina ewo omo ideas omu nyina efo omo adwene a omo kabo mu se omo beti one political party and sa omo a omo gina mu ete NPP no a omu nyina afri de UP mu no omu enananom a omu ye buziafo no se omate omo na buziafo nananom no omu ne Alan Chairmantin ene omu a omu di Alan Chairmantin chi e party ni mu. There's one interesting thing. For a long time, even though fapem miensa ena NPP gina so emane party no, ya single out only one of the 3 pillars and yamana be to say eno ena represent the party dankwa. So obo dombo fo a na obi bu se wo ye jimi fo. So oka buzia fo na na obi bu se wonim de woka. Na dankwa fo no ama party na be to say omo dia na sebio omo mpo ena apore ho kakra ama dombo ene buzia fo no. But it is something manifesting. Now a party ewo enai miense gina so. And enai ne ba ko no say they are no more going to be part of that party, meaning party ne enai mienu pe. Now, let's take our time and step back a little bit. So uchi when ni ekwe kakra, this is what you see. And the air play out and say a year omo a omati omo ho abeti UP foforo no enya wanwane nie. Let's go back a little bit. Obeti de ekonase. And I said the ekos no obeti ase. Now, when you go back, you see this, the birth of the UP tradition, a coalition against one party rule. The birth of the UP tradition. Senya UP. Ebaye. Also, tia say NPP every UP. The education kit will be now the esin there. Yati UP for no betiasie. Now, the birth of the UP tradition, a coalition against one party rule. Sa UP no adikudientia ya wu UP no na eye inkuo bi na keka omu hu bomu ema UP no ebeye UP. Inti UP no enye nipa baako. Eye inkuo. Ena omu ka omu hu bomu se omu mpene se Kwame Nkrumah ebedi Ghana so ono nkwa ne party ne be wini power. Inti omu nyina ka omu hu bomu se omu ba be den ebe stop Kwame Nkrumah say obey president of Ghana. Now, when you read the history, this is what it says. In the wake of Ghana's independence in 1957, Kwame Nkrumah's Convention People's Party stood as the towering force in national politics. But beneath the surface of this new public, a diverse group of regional and ideological factions harbored deep concerns about Nkrumah's centralizing tendencies and the drift towards authoritarianism. Now, almost said kudientia ema eye sa group of friend UP no eba and say in 1957 Kwame Nkrumah winning elections no nipakuo bi anase nkokuo bi adwene ye almost say sene Kwame Nkrumah ne CPP no ewini eye power Ghana for editumi ahye omo nsem democratically no omo de na omo nti omo ho ase na omo adwene ye omo say Kwame Nkrumah beje okuro na boso Kwame Nkrumah ebeye ahantan Kwame Nkrumah ebeye penyini bi a obeye kebi mami kebi obeye oma kebi mami kebi enkoso enti omo fo omo ho adwene say omo bepe ekwan bia so egu Kwame Nkrumah aban no. Now yanko enim me kira o UP na se adekodi enti a ende yate UP foforo. Now, to suppress ethnic and regional political fragmentation, na Kwame Nkrumah per se, eye adia ye friend inyimu, ekuo wei, enton wei, sa asum wei, sa nipakuo wei, sa enton wei, sa ebusuafo wei, na Kwame Nkrumah per se obras adia na se. Iti dia no ye. Nkrumah's government passed the Avoidance of Discrimination Act 1957, which banned parties based on ethnic, regional, and religious lines. It is Kwame Nkrumah na on pese nipa bi ebeka se yebusia yenton bebi ye free osuma yesom kasa yeka ye chen ebi mu de ahye nipa bi nsunti ode mra bi baya na efre no Avoidance of Discrimination Act 1957. Senya beya ekuo bi nipa bi eye enton bi eye osum bi entumi hye Ghana for so. Now, what happened? Inti doye ene say or the tabono eto any ekuo biya so say memma obia enye de Nkrumah, which banned parties based on ethnic, regional, and religious lines. Inti sa emrane ba na yakasema obia ente political party a eye entonti ne yete. Memma obia ente political party wo Ghana eye osumbi nti ne yete. Memma obia ente political party e wo Ghana eye baby otinti na oteye. Obia opese ote political party bi na o se engineer so no eye engineer so a eye Ghana fo nyina adwene pongyina so. Inti emane de emra bi ba say untumi kase me ahunani enti me ahunani nti na yete political party was no ompene untumi kase me yemfantini enti ye yemfantifo nti na yete political Kwame Nkrumah say ompene untumi kase me ya asantini enti yete party bi ya asantefo party o say o de mra ba ye ntumi nye untumi kase me yenkremoni enti me tinkremofo party ana untumi kase me ye kristoni me ti kristofo party Kwame Nkrumah de mra ba say obete party a it should be devoid of religious, ethnic and what we call a regional basis and biases. Now, ironically, this forced desperate opposition groups to unite, giving birth to the United Party (UP) in 1957. Inti Nkrumah passes Amrano, ena sebio parties bi ana omonti omo ho ase, nipa bi ekuo bi ana omonti omo ase dabi, ende ye nyina be kan ho abom na yako eti Nkrumah. Every say na ebimo epese omo te party out of tribe. Na ebimo pese omo te party out of religion. Ebimo pese omo te party out of region. Inti omo nyina ba together ka say Nkrumah is our common enemy. Enomu ene yebeti bibi a friend UP, United Party. Eno na omo de beti UP no. Enti UP no sa o pesa de ma NPP be ye NPP a yesi de bia NPP for UP mu a. The reason tia yeti UP ne se na Nkrumah pesa obepene ma obi aka se me ye nkrani, me ya santini, me ye fantini timate party ejina mekuo ana menton so. Because na Nkrumah pesa obepene se obi beka se me Roman ni, me nkremoni, me ye de ni enti me gina no so de atepat na Nkrumah se eno so ompene. Nkrumah se enye bebi a wo free ena obeka se me free ahuna memu nti me te party ama ahunafo dabi. Eno nti na ema nipa bi ba together say ende ye beti UP. Na ye nyina ye opposition parties a ye pese ye kutia Nkrumah. Because na nipa bi na group bi e pese omu gina enton so. Omo pese omu gina edian bebi omo te. Omo pese omu gina asum bi so edit political party. Into UP no, and no nekofa UP ne baye. It was to fight against what we called the Avoidance of Discrimination Act. Now, what did the NPP do? I'm talking about the UP. Now, remember, there is indenting a middle question NPP nasi and your party. A dangerous group of people. Now, the UP party UP nankasa no omunie. Yan chechim na mjujo bibi munchro. The UP in 1957 constitutes ekuo ben about together ebe form UP. Bibi na machiro bibi a trick it wo. Na machiro de kudienti a ende eye omo UP mu no ati omo ho every NPP mu. There's a reason. And ana enkora emmabaawa ene mbebo mu di NPP kira na omo ho ya memobo. Omo ayese mmoa. Omo ntumi nwene enko akiri. You be use some abomu to see omo to say confirm because they don't even understand party of the National Liberation Movement (NLM), led by Boadu Akoto, rooted in Asante nationalism and federalist ideals. Boadu Akoto no ya Asantini, onna na ye otumfo o sabre no na oye ne chiame. Boadu Akoto on the NLM. NLM na oti no na nipa okano homomotie na eye dankwa nanado dankwa ekufu ebusuani dankwa no ha ono ene eye de Boadu Akoto ene ka omoti bomu a omoti bibi efe no NLM intina eye asantefo ne achimfo ene ba together enom ka se ende yeso yebeti party na yeso yebeti party ne de ekuokuo akaye ho ne abe fight Kwame Nkrumah. And remember, NLM no na e Boadu Akoto ana oye saa time no otumfo ho no ne chiame on yi £700 on e de Ekufuado ebusuani e fe ne dankwa ha omo e na ye den ete NLM. Now hade bi omo ye na omo frɛ Northern People's Party NPP na it was led by Simon Diodong Dombo. Inti NPP na e Srimfo party na nipa ote sa party ano odi anim no ne afre no eye Diodong Dombo, advocating for northern representation and development. Into omo de omo ka se omo betikuo na omo nyina akọ fight Nkrumah no na NPP for omo srem no omo de na eye mpuntuo no omo pe eno na nti na omo join ye omo na nya bibia ha na nya se ohini bi ati omo krom ana omo ya na se ohini bi ana nton bi. Their sole purpose was to be part of this group, send a better development will come to the north. And it's na Diodong Dombo say I want to be part of this coalition. Make sure be a motive, obia motive be on the free bar. Remember, Ekufuado ebusuani dankwa one NLM ochiame ana oye otumfo sabreno ne chiame asantini ba ko ne achimni ba ko de NLM. National Liberation Movement. And I'm say, oh, NPP, Northern People's Party, mo meka ho. And I'm say, oh, yeah, the development, ya pempuntio, ya pesem puntio ba, inti dombo for no, on an call for ever joining sa coalition. And now Muslim Association Party. And almost who said Abi in Kremofo El Ghana. Inti Omo party a friend Muslim Association Party representing Muslim interests, especially in urban centers. Omo di omo ba no. Omo say okay, yen in Kremofo na ye wo krum kakra no. Yes we pese abantie ye inti ne ebe join mo. They did not join because of hinibinti. They did not join because now we are Dagomba for, Sisala for, Mampurisi for, Dagati for. They joined because they wanted a year in Kremosum. Sebio emutrano, Sebio abainso adwene bekoso. That's all. They were not in there because na ohinibi no more support no. And remember, some of them their intentions were clear. Now, and almost afre Anlo Youth Organization. And I'm saying that be so. And what they were doing is they were picking every single region because they wanted it to look like a united force. But the motive was that Nani Pebi and a creative omuaku. And I'm afraid Unlock Youth Organization, our focus no was on our concerns in the Volta region. Inti I want to join here no munyina idea nyina say na omo pese in one nyoma bia ekokoso ewa hunamemu a sebio aban no enhyeda ani nko ho no omo be join your coalition we send ye be ya aban ni be ko. They didn't come because they were indebted to a chief, because na omo clan omo busua bi. They joined because they also wanted the government of the day or Ghanaians to know, say, they were not coming to join because they hated Nkrumah. No. The Northerners did not join because they hated Nkrumah. No. The Northern People's Party did not join because they hated Nkrumah. The Muslims did not join because they hated Nkrumah. They all joined with a motive to bring development to where they were. Now, Enomoko Ga Sifimo P. Omoko fan crime for so kakra beka ho. And omo kon crime mu. And I'm saying no, we need the people in the Greater Accra region. And omoko fa eye ga Shifimo P eye gas based group from Accra. Omoko on crime so group be na wa mo yan crime for mo be join it. Na ye nyina yan kopre eye de eye at the Pambrefie. And crime for no, they were swimming at the beach. They were having a wonderful time. They thought to say development is good. This is a coalition. We all want betterment. Obia, the majority of the people group that joined were not joining because they hated Nkrumah. They joined because they wanted something to come to them. And in terms of development, them being recognized. It wasn't because they hated Nkrumah and thought to say Nkrumah was against Ga people. Nkrumah was against Awunafo. Nkrumah was against Muslims. Nkrumah was against Northerners. Nkrumah was never against those people. And those people knew it. But they joined because they felt we all needed one voice to bring development to our respective areas and the religion we are in. Now, they now went to the Togolese Congress, that is the TC, representing our communities in Transvolta, Togoland, into Omosako, a year Boadu, and Omosako fa, a year Transvolta, and Kofona, a kufu the castle, Obubeyoku, Etununa, or Bobi Mutuno. Aha. They brought those people and added them to it. Until now, technically, they have been able to tap into about 70% of the nations. That time, your regions and also. Until now, they have gotten other groups to join them for it to look like a united front. Now, say together. I was say your friend Adewe, the UP, the United Party, no, and now when it was led by Buzia. Remember, NLM, Bafwa Kutu, Ene Ekufuado, Omonomte NLM, Northern People's Party, Muslim Association Party, and Law Youth Organization, Shifimo P, Ene Eye Togolese Congress. Time Omudi we nyina ba together mu nyina tena dai ba kumu nom say Buzia, Ene be lead. So you see, the strategy was that they wanted to put all these people together. After that, they would spearhead it. Because say ebeye NLM nkwa, they will not have that weight. Say ebeye Northern People's Party nkwa, they will not have that weight. Now, the people who wanted to go after Nkrumah and destroy Nkrumah's government was Buziamo. It was Dankwa, Buzia, and Edian, Dombo. Now, remember, Dombo joining, they didn't join because they hated Nkrumah. No. Dankwa, and Edian, Bafwa Kotomo, and Buziamo. The intention was to use these people against the Nkrumah government. And see, and a Buzia lead here. Now, I'm saying, and in the one be NPP, on say there's never been a day. All these people I have mentioned, say I kind of critically, they are all supposed to be part of the NPP. In Tinkauka NPP, and Kaunka Dankwa Buzia Domo, or Sankaka Dankwa Buzia Dombo, Anlo, Ganfishi, Togolese, and you are supposed to mention all of them. Now ask yourself, why have they for a long time NPP in your platform say Dankwa Buzia Domo? Because Dankwa Buzia Domo, no, they basically had a coup that they were going to spearhead this. Majority of the group, they didn't recognize them. They added the Dombo because they needed the Northness to make them look strong. That's it. And see, the plan was hatched. But the way the plan was hatched, not only to me executive plan because they did not have weight. They were one opposition. They needed a lot of opposition to make them look bigger. They needed feathers. No more here a atakra to look like even though they were chicken, they needed atakra to look like they were turkeys. Into the feathers and I feel big to say that is what they were doing. And they were able to get all these people to be parts of what we call the UP. Now, come all the way down to 2025. And there's a new group. Our new group, and say they have decided to move on. They don't want to be part of this group. Some other groups in UP4 neglect or eja Dankwa Buzia Dombono. Now the Buzia na sebi obe lead UP no. Ne nananom omwa na omoka party no me starting and oma tomanum to say they don't want to be part of this party. What will cause or what will make them today come out to say we don't want to be part of this party. NPP. We are party no party no omnomtie. So then this year it will say even though me this year sa him feel we me besa metena ha na sa this year we hu bibi wa him feel wa se bi o entwaye this year obetumi di ade Alan Cash obetumi di president obetumi use NPP di president this year ne nananom and the supporters say you free ahimfie ha that means say either say ohene na otia ahimfie no wane and awarding to megu so and ahimfie ho bon and on person be kan okre and eye adehye ni ba ko ehu say na wutwa woto kan yan hohoro interdiction say ye betena ha ehua ebini kankan we de and ye menso ne me group ye be kwa kosi ye den ye so kwa kosi ye palace ne atenem indi say and this year ene nechi dom say saa fie ha ye ntumi ntina so tia say either say sebio ohene no wabodam another sebio ohene no oyewudini anase sebio no ohene no onka no kore anase bia sebio ohene no na hemfie no ode ya de bia adehye na nhwa a omoso yebeka se omo ye den na nkarefo because openyini tifie ne awi na nka na penyini na nka bia ye ka na nkarefo a saa penyini no ka ho enti enne eya buziafo no say they want to walk omo ti omo ho mateme ho na starting 1957 no ene na asaba 2025 because them say they will change their name. They will change their words. They will change who they are. But the real character, no, sano, and that is what is manifesting today. Now, is it not interesting? Obibeka say, Alan Kojo Chamantini in the group, Alan Kojo Chamantini in the group, they have taken the best decision. Now, so we share and there, omo launch the UP, the new UP. We share nipa omo at least they have admitted that they lived with criminals. At least they have been honest with themselves. Oma Jatum say, nipa ya ni omo sign no, omo nye nipa papa, omo ye wudifo, omo say mine, omo ye etutrafo. One thing basically I admire about what they did today is that they want to give Ghana politics a new breath. They want to prove to Ghana for say there are still politicians, so almost finding almost solved with murderers, liars, they can move away from there. Their impact might not be felt today, maybe in 8 years, maybe in 16 years, maybe in 24 years, but their impact will be felt eventually because at least some principles have been followed. In time na omoye sa eye inauguration we no, there was one thing that basically impressed me. I saw people with dignity. I saw people with self-respect. I saw people who basically wanted to tell Ghanaians, say, we at least respect you. We know we have offended you. We are trying to let you know that we are humans, we make mistakes, and we can change. That is why they have decided to carve a different path. You see the kind of people who today decided to say, the Buzia group, we want to basically move on. We want to prove to Ghanaians that, you know something, we have offended you people. We want to show you that you knew your home and we can be better. And when you hear them sing, when you hear them talk about what they want to do, you might not feel it ending your 8 years, 12 years, but eventually people will come to believe, say, this current NPP is a dangerous political party. And Nintina, one pillar of the NPP, and the Ateno, abeti a new UP. Now, I'm sure IDB. Let's go back a little bit into history. Thank you very much, team, for bringing this. You see this? This is what the NPP at the end of the day, Senya UP no anantia babedru ende abadane NPP ende omona nanom bi say yentumi nya part of this party. Evolution of the Dankwa Buzia Dombo tradition. Yeah, party, name and key figures and notes. In 1947, United Gold Coast Convention, founded by Pa Grant, J.B. Dankwa, and others, first formal political party in the Gold Coast. And about 1951, opposition faction, after Nkrumah broke away from CPP, UGCC weakened. Regional parties like NLM, NPP, Northern People's Party, and others emerged. Now, when it comes to from 1951 to 1957, now when you move forward, you will see in 1957, United Party came and formed as the coalition of opposition parties after the Avoidance of Discrimination Act led by DKA, Buzia, and SD Dombo. Clearly, these are disgruntled people. A convincing but the idea was that yena ye pese ye tunkruma na magana be ye dia. What Alan Koyo Chamantin and the team no ayende no, it is something we all have to understand. Say na it was say AC, because you see, the NPP for a long time almost sideline Buzia for, almost sideline Eye Dombo for, and it is only about the Dankwa. And into the end there, we have only the Dankwa Institute, and no I to say it is the brain of the NPP, but that is not it. We don't have Buzia Institute. We don't have Dombo Institute. They have done everything to suppress everybody to make the party about Dankwa. Dankwa. And into your idea of the Dankwa Institute, they are forcing or they have forced it to represent the NPP. Now, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he's neither Dankwa, he's neither Dombo, or he's neither Buzia. But the reason why today he's Dankwa is because of his greed. Mahmoud Bawumia is an NDC. Mahmoud Bawumia Papa worked with Kwame Nkrumah. Mahmoud Bawumia ne Papa worked with the NDC, Jerry John Rawlings. Mahmoud Bawumia saw an opening because of his greed. So he joined the Dankwa group, the Dankwa cartel. That can lie for you to believe, say it is the truth. So at this point, the Dankwa group have made sure Mahmoud Bawumia represents them. The same coup they did. And that is what they are doing today. And Intina, no matter what, they made Bawumia the flag bearer in 2024. Because you see, the Dankwa group, they are very good at doing internal coups. And then they or the flag bearer, or ye Paul Afuku, or ye Kobne Japan. They know how to internally dismantle the base of a party and become the leaders of a party. The same way they did with UP, how they were able to convince all these people to think that the formation of the UP was about something positive, but the intentions within was to overthrow Kwame Nkrumah. And that is the same thing. NPP way they are even forcing to impose another Dankwa who is in the name of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Let me tell you, the reason why Bawumia Echo 2024 was to prove to Ghana for say, oh, Dombo for no crampo no. No, it was the making of the Dankwa group. The Buzia group, they have seen it. They believe the role they played to get UP to be UP and to change into NPP, no, they cannot be underestimated. They cannot be seen as a side group. Today, when you take the books of the NPP, the history of the NPP, hardly do you hear anybody talk about the Buzia fashion. It is all about the Dankwa Institute. It's all about the Dankwa people. It is all about what the Dankwa wants. It's all about Dankwa imposing people on them. The Dankwa today wants to impose Mahamudu Bawumia on the people because one, Bawumia is greedy. And two, they believe they own the party because it was their mastermind that put together the UP. What you are seeing today, Alan Ayeno, Alan is saving a political party that is dying because some group of people feel entitled, feel they own the party. The NPP cannot run away from its past. NLM was basically formed by Bafo Akoto ana oye chiame to saa time no ohine ana oye asantehene. Bafo Akoto party na otie no na onte party ni so ko football club. Ote party ni fra himfie. Time Kwame Nkrumah ede samra ne ba ye obi antumi emfa himfie te party no ene na ma omudi omusika be hye mu so omubetu Kwame Nkrumah. Into whether you like it or not, the NPP is a tribal party. It was built out of tribalism. The intentions made the NPP no na Bafo Akoto epe political party or de eye akonya be fra na ode tietia nipa bi fa ahodie so epuopu nipa bi. Enu ntina as ochiami to ohene no ode ni sika ete party no ahemfie. Enu na Kwame Nkrumah hu ye okase da bi ye ntumi nte party wa ahemfie e ma ne represent obia because the interest of the ahemfie is only to a tribe and not to everybody. Into Nkrumah can say the interest to interest of a religion is only to the religion. The interest of a political a tribe is only to the tribe, and he is not going to allow some people's interest to overshadow the collective interest of the people. Into what the rabbi said, obian to me engina eye enton ebusua ekuo ene edien eya konwanimu ente party on to me ntia sorry for ente party eno ena ekoma sa group no ebufu ya they went after Kwame Nkrumah. Into what you are seeing today, it is the reflection of what has transpired in years. Now, Alan Chamantini in the group, they are new breeds. They basically are looking at things from a neutral point. They are basically trying to let people know, say, Yatsina Osumbimu for a long time. It has never been right. And it's about time we got to that point to understand and to let people know, say, Sa ye kuo no, ye kua ye tse no, sebio ye jina edien ahinie so ne ye tse ye tse na himfie. Ama ye ho enye Ghana fo akono. Your party no entumi attract Ghana for every say yesu any buy any baby ye free ba no say ya anti ye hu amfiri wa eye Ghana for ema ye tumi biem it Alan mo ehu ade kro. They have seen the light. They have seen say the Ghanaian is not stupid again, and they launched their anthem and it was wonderful, it was patriotic. And let me tell you, Ghana politics from today it has changed. The NPP egu prophecy no na atono and I'm so catch them. The good party no 2028 I will nullify it. No. And my share me crabo NPP 2028 me guno. And the new UP must emerge in 24 years. They have started now. They need to keep on. Na Ghana for and start Tiomo. Who knows? In the next 24 years, Ghana for bit me Tiomo. But right now, there you need to understand NPP no egu. And in 2028, men nullify no. 2027 by February, na partner ejuja. ansania kotoaba. It's a promise. Any more Ghana say omuya kromfo na aban we sebio edi omugina quarter yedi omasem no ebinie abrantie we ye frɛ no eye Prince Ofori oye kromfo oye wudifo onyanipa obeku no ohu no bebia be very careful, watch his steps, anadwusum na obehu na pe bibi bo ho ban because ohu ewa anadwufa obetuma wo sekekum oye obatan oye panyini na wo hweme na se ohu abrantie we picture wo TV so a oye nipa bi a omo bo mu tirim po se president kro betes no otes no omo nya omeku no eku ne yire ye frɛ no eye Prince Ofori ni din ankofo etade frɛ no eye fancy comedy baby a behu ni bia no hu ni se oye wudini se anadwo 11 ana 10 11 12 1 uhu na anadwo fa na onam baby ono nko a bo ho ban because onya obeku. This is a dangerous human being oye dangerous omo kunipa for se otiasa asi so onyan wi de ebema Ghana ene ewiase nyina hu se we ye wudini a uhu na bo ho ban se sika de kutawa fa hya wo ho se tu a fa hya wo ho because onya nipa obeku no bo ho ban ansa na wedi wabro ni din e de Prince Ofori nkofo dodo no efre no fancy comedy onie. Now the next person I was say ohwe wo ho yie wo no ho ye kire aboa akekere Ghana enitina ewudifo akromfo a omokan ho no yama Ghana fo nyina hu omo nipa ban ene nipa su send ye when we see them we become we take cover or we make sure we avoid such people. This guy, his name is Prince Ofori, is a dangerous criminal. If you watch me, if you are in the diaspora, if you want to go to Ghana in December, these are the kind of people you need to avoid. They are dangerous people. They plan to murder people. Their job is to make sure they kill. So if you're a foreigner and you want to go to Ghana in December, people like these, when you come across such people, be careful. His name is Prince Ofori. Majority of the people call him fancy comedy. He's a murderer. Be very careful and make sure you avoid such people. Another person, December eba, and yebenya ahoho bebre wo Ghana. So we need to make sure, say, we protect the visitors. And we need to let the visitors know Ghana, the kind of people in Ghana. We are projecting Ghana. We also have to make sure our security is intact. This man is called Daniel Adomako. If you are an American, if you are from Europe, you want to visit Ghana in December, you want to go enjoy yourself. Ghana is a wonderful place. I am from Ghana. I enjoy Ghana so much. I believe in our culture. I believe in our hospitality. But don't take that for granted. There are criminals in Ghana. There are murderers in Ghana who are walking on the streets of Ghana. This guy is called Daniel Adomako. People call him Sir Obama. This guy is in court. The government of the day is prosecuting this guy because he is somebody who has been keeping deadly weapons on him, selling them, giving it to other people to end people's lives. These are dangerous Ghanaians that we have to be careful about. This young man is called Daniel Adomako. When you go to Ghana, wherever you see this guy, be very, very careful. Make sure you protect yourself against such a character. The government of Ghana, they are doing everything possible to get these criminals off the streets of Ghana. His name is Daniel Adomako, aka Sir Obama Pukwasi. Now, the next deadly, dangerous criminal you might encounter this December when you go to Ghana as a foreigner, this lady, her name is Yaira Abil. These are dangerous criminals who murder other people. This lady is also in court. In fact, the government of the day, the Ghana Police Service, they have basically placed, or they are prosecuting this lady for attempting to murder the president of the Republic of Ghana. This is a woman. She has been weaponized to kill another woman. In fact, she was on social media telling the world that she was going to behead the first lady of the Republic of Ghana. This lady. She lives in Ghana. Be very careful going to Ghana. Avoid such people. These are dangerous criminals. And, you know, I love majority of you guys going to Ghana. I would like a lot of people to go to Ghana, visit Ghana, enjoy the place. But I also wouldn't want you to get yourself involved in any messy situation. And these people, some of these people, look at her very well. Her name is Yaira Abil, a hardened criminal, a serial killer. He's under investigation. So be careful when you go to Ghana. When you get to the airport, ask of these people where they live, which political party they belong to, before you enter the country. Do your research. I'm going to come tell you next time where they live in Ghana so that you avoid such communities. It's very, very important. These are dangerous people. All right. Now, this man is called Paul Adam Otri. He's another hardened political criminal. In fact, per the OSP's statement, this guy has been involved in serious corrupt activities. He's a political criminal. Per the special prosecutor's document, such a person can also change into a murderer. So you cannot underestimate this guy who is a political criminal. He's under investigation by the OSP office. And if you're in America, if you are in the UK, you are somewhere in Asia, OSP is Office of the Special Prosecutor. He's under serious investigations for stealing from Ghanaians. And now he has become very defensive and aggressive. So if you enter Ghana, if you decide to go to Ghana this December, people like these, he sits on TV. The most dangerous thing about this guy is a con artist. He normally parades or carries himself as a journalist. He isn't. That is the only way, and that is how he's able to get his victims. His name is Paul Adam Otri, a very dangerous walking criminal, a contradicting criminal. The special prosecutor is investigating this guy. So if you're a foreigner going to Ghana this December, be careful about this gentleman. When you get to Kotoka International Airport, ask about Paul Adam Otri. He used to be the head of Ghana Airport Company. In fact, he was the board chair. During his time, when he was the board chair of Ghana Airport Company, that was when we had so much cocaine transiting through Kotoka International Airport. He's affiliated to the NPP, led by Kufuor Gabi Ochidakun, and the cartels that we all know. So if you are going to Ghana, ask of Paul Adam Otri, a very dangerous character. Be careful, because the OSP just put a statement out that we should be careful about such a person. Now, the El Capitano, when it comes to criminals, dangerous people, people who can murder in broad daylight, people who enter offices, schools, these are people who can slaughter men. They eat the heart of young children. These are people, and I'm talking about men like Williams and Nefi Sapong. This is a guy who can enter your hotel room, stab you in the heart, and just take your phone. He's a dangerous criminal. He's a murderer. A very dangerous criminal who is also very, very effective when it comes to internet fraud. His name is William